This short video is intended to help you do linear regression on your calculator using a problem from the college algebra book. I'm on page 119 and I'm looking at the data that's on problem 66. I'm going to enter it into my calculator by first going to the Stat button right here and clicking on it. Then in the lower right hand corner, Enter. I've already put the data in the calculator, but if you have other data in there that you need to get rid of, you take your arrow keys and you put the cursor on the top of the list that you want to clear. So like if I want to clear L1, you take your arrow key, you get the cursor up on the L1, you clear and enter, and it should wipe out the whole column. And then when you want to enter the data back in, you touch the number, you enter, and then touch the next number and enter. They should start popping up into the column. You touch the number and you enter. So I've put both columns in the calculator, and I just want to show you for a second what these look like when you plot them. You don't have to do this, but I want you to see it. This is fairly linear. It's got a little bit of a curve to it, but we're going to try to put a line through here, and then we'll look at the correlation coefficient and see how accurate it is. So we have our data in our calculator, and we can see it right here in the lists. The next thing you're going to do is touch the Stat button again. You're going to take your right arrow key and get the cursor over onto Calculate. So come down here and touch this right arrow key once, and the cursor pops over there. Then we need linear regression, number 4. So I'm coming down here and touching the 4 keypad. At this moment, if your calculator looks like this, it should say L1 here, L2 here. You can come down with your arrow key and you can clear that frequency list out. And we're not going to store the linear regression, so we're going to come down onto the word calculate, and you're going to enter. Some of you at this moment, your screen might have looked like this. If your screen at that moment looked like this, you have to follow it up by telling it where your lists are. And the way you get this to show, the L1 to show, is you're going to touch second and then the number 1 keypad. And the way you get the comma to show is you use this comma key. And then the way you get the L2 to show is you touch second 2. At that moment, when you get that entered, then you'll hit enter just like I'm going to here on this calculator. When you enter, you should start getting an answer. Now, I think you might have to enter twice on this. The R value is not showing here, so if yours is not showing either, I'll show you how to get to that. I'm going to go second, Catalog, which is down here above the 0 key, and I'm going to hold my arrow key down until it gets to the D's, and when I get to Diagnostics On, I'm going to enter and enter. Once it says done, you shouldn't ever have to do that again. You can just go Stat, just like I did a minute ago, right arrow key to Calc, 4, and then again, if your screen looks like this, the L1 and the L2 here, then come down until you're onto the word calculate and you enter. If your screen looks like this, you tell it L1 comma L2, and then I believe you have to enter twice. Both of your screens should look like this at this moment. The 494 is the slope, the 4,145 is the y-intercept. The R value is what we call the correlation coefficient. And so what we're getting is a regression line that looks like this. This is your slope. and the y-intercept is about that. So that's your regression line. The correlation coefficient is pretty darn high. When this is close to 1, that means that this is a good fit. It's a good fit to the data. Even though that data had a little curve to it, the line fit very well. If the R value is close to 1 or -1, it's a good fit. If it's close to 0, it's not a good fit.